Welcome back to Breslov campus. An amazing story regarding Rav Avram Sternhartz. That's the tradition that it was with him. Rav Avram Sternhartz, a great grandson of Rav Nosson, lived for a time in an eastern village of Ukraine called Kremenchug, and he was at a certain period like a Rav, a halachic authority, a Rav there of the community. And there was an incident in that city or another village nearby that Russian soldiers came with Jews tied around with their arms like handcuffed and tied, and the Russians threatened like this. They said, these Jews were caught stealing and doing something illegal. We're going to torture and kill them. However, if we're given ransom money, we will set them free. How much ransom money? About approximately 30,000 rubles, which was a lot of money. So the Jewish community approached the Rav. They told the Rav, now's not a time to learn. We have to do what's called Pidyon Shvuim to redeem Jews who are being taken captive. And what's this? They told a story about these two Jews who were taken custody by the Russian soldiers, and their life is hanging, and there's an opportunity to save them right now if they raise enough money. So the Rav closed his book, and he went to certain houses of certain wealthy Jews that he knew had money, and he approached them about the great mitzvah. And they asked the Rav. When we went to the first house, the man said to the Rav, the wealthy man said to the Rav, how much money does the Rav want me to give to help in this mitzvah of Pidyon Shvuyim? So the Rav said, I want you to give 5,000 rubles. He said, that's all? Just 5,000 rubles? Take 10, I'll give you 10,000. So the Rav took the money and he was like shocked a little. And then he went to the next house and he had with him his students with him, escorting him. And he went to another rich man and he asked him, how much should I give? And he said, you, with the money that I know that you make in your business, 2,500 rubles. And he said, that's it? I'll give you 5,000 rubles. And as this went on, the Rav's face was getting more and more perplexed and confused. And then he went to another 2-3 houses with the same attitude. That's all you want? Take double. And the Rav had within a matter of a few hours the entire sum, which was a lot of money. So the Rav turned to one of his students and he said, listen, take all this money and give it back to all of the donors. And the student said, what? He said, yes, listen, I've been Rav here for 40 years. You trust me, right? You trust that I know what I'm saying, I know what I'm doing. He said, yes, of course. He said, well, trust me now also. Give back the money to all the donors. So he ran and gave back the money to donors. Then he called top students and young men who were strong, and he said to them, I want all of you to take bats, hide the bats behind you, behind your backs, and when I give the signal, I want you to beat up the soldiers and the two Jews who are taken captive, to beat them up fiercely. So the Rav came and he pretended as if he had the stack of money, and the soldiers were like smiling. The Jewish community, they brought the money for the ransom. So then the Rav gave the signal, and the students who had hiding behind them, the bats, they started to smack and smash the soldiers and the Jews, those two Jews. And then they heard the soldiers saying, you foolish, you terrible Jews, always able to outsmart us, non-Jews, always are able to outsmart us and our tricks and our plans. And they ran away. The soldiers and the Jews were cuffed. They were uncuffed by the soldiers and they ran away. It was a scheme. The people of the community asked the Rav, how did you know this? How did you see through this that it was a scandal, it was a falsehood, it was a scheme? So he said like this, normally to do a mitzvah takes effort, there's a bit of difficulty, at least some measure of exertion and difficulty involved. When I saw that I asked for help and it came so easily, even what I didn't ask, they gave me more. And again, it happened, it kept on happening. I began to wonder, wait a second, maybe this is not really a mitzvah. This is the barometer measurement to show me that this is not a mitzvah. It's getting too easy, something's wrong here. I'm hesitant, and it happened again and again, and I had the whole money within a few hours. I began to really, really worry and think and to ponder, this is possibly not a mitzvah and it's just a scandal. And I realized that if now the mitzvah came so easy to do, easier than it expected. It's one thing now that he would ask the man for the money and reluctantly he gave that amount. Then I can understand that. And then the next guy, and it would take time to get the amount, and reluctantly they each gave, but they gave in the end. Fine. But here it went too smooth. It was too easy, too good. I caught the trick that this is not a mitzvah, and that's how I was able to see through the scandal. And it's something to learn in life, that when things come too easy, you got to be careful. You got to be very, very, very careful, and to begin to wonder what's going on here. If this is really the will of Hashem, the ratzon of Hashem, the desire of Hashem, that this act and activity or whatever be done. A person has to really, really ask Hashem to be guided according to the truth, and that Hashem sends a person the right perspective in anything and everything they do in life.